The future of Catholic education, it's bright as long as our Catholic educators, our church, our leaders have an open mind, and what we do, what we teach, how we interact with our young people is relevant. That we understand the culture that they live in, that we don't shy away from it, but we step right in and we engage and we show them the way to navigate a very complex world.
U.S. Catholic educational institutions had been a flourishing segment of the education fabric in the country during the 19th and 20th centuries. But at the dawn of the 21st century, enrollment began to drop, schools began to close, and the once thriving network took a nosedive. Rising tuition costs, unfavorable economic conditions, and competition from other institutions were cited as the reasons for the decline.
The unique issue with Catholic schools was that a generation or two or three ago, most of the teachers were the clergy, and they didn't cost as much as lay teachers cost. And now when you go into Catholic schools, most if not all of the teachers are lay teachers and with master's degrees and so forth, and so that cost goes up. And I think generally the cost of education has increased dramatically. I mean, we're spending more money now on education per student across the country, Catholic and private and public schools, than we ever have. And a lot of that's driven by wages and health benefits and so forth. I don't know if Catholic education is out of the woods yet. I think it's beginning to balance out from the sharp decline. I think people are looking for alternatives that they may not have looked for a generation ago. And Catholic schools throughout their history have provided an alternative to the public schools.
Catholic school leaders began to focus on what made their institutions unique.
I know with the schools I've worked with in their strategic planning, one of the first pillars was this idea of Catholic identity, and then drilling down to what does Catholic identity mean and how can we teach it, how can the students learn it, and then how can students apply this in the greater community. What's that magnet to say, I really want my child to go there because not only will they get a good education, but they will get a Catholic education, and they will be able to come out of there being a really good citizen and use what they've learned to better society, not only for themselves, but for others.
You're almost done, buddy.
Catholic school leaders are also looking for new demographics.
In the United States, 40% of Catholics are Hispanic, and those under the age of 18, 60% of them are Hispanic. Only 20% of those young people are represented in our schools. This is the challenge for Catholic schools today, to welcome and embrace these families because they are the future of our church. And so if we want our schools to flourish, if we want enrollment to continue to increase and not be on a decline, we have to engage those who are our church today. And so it's a commitment on the part of NCA, as it is other Catholic organizations, to say, how do we find our way and how do we make ourselves the place where Hispanic families say, whatever it is, whatever the hurdles are, they need to make the choice and we need to engage these families in our community.